Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. This is Mrs. Drake, and I want to talk about the process for making your still life. We talked about in class doing 3 thumbnails, but as you can see, I ended up having to do 5 different thumbnails, and I also had to take some reference photos to help me figure out exactly how I wanted to make this watercolor painting. You can see here some of the reference photos I had to make in order to arrive at this final idea here. And you can see this one's very similar to this one. I just moved the sphere closer to me so that there was more space created by that. All right, so I just wanted to show you that, and I also put all this process into the Padlet so you can see it there as well. And now I'm ready to start my sketch, which will be, it's going to be a painting, but I want to start with the sketch to sort of help me to lay this out and make the painting. So I'm going to have the orange sphere about in this area, and then the cylinder is going to come up to about here. So I'm just going around and I'm trying to figure out the location, the scale of these objects in order to create this painting. And that doesn't mean that I can't change it still. I want to keep my options open. But at least I'm getting the idea of the size, location, and the scale that I need for everything. Now I notice here that my the little green vase is the way I have it now. It's the same size as my cylinder, but that is not the case. I need to make this come up a little bit higher here. So that's a better scale for that object. So I look at measurements between things. I look at spaces. Looks like this should actually be maybe more like this. So this would all get moved over a little bit. And I can rework things. So a lot of times I'll use the object itself, but also the spaces created between them to figure out where things should go. So something more along here. And then I'm running out of space for my chess piece. That's the only problem with moving it over. Let's see, maybe I need to move it back. So more in here, and that will give me more space in here, which is where this chess piece has to go. And the chess piece is actually going to be coming up to about there. Got to get the perspective lines correctly. Made that a little bit too much of an angle. So you can see it can take a lot of reworking to get your sketch just the way you want. And ultimately what matters is not your thumbnails and not the photographs, but the actual painting that you want to create. All right, so let me get this figured out here. Looks like I'm going to be cropping part of this chess piece off. If I keep it like this. I don't know, I like that. I might have to bring it all over. Start that chess piece. There's my eraser here. Start the chess piece more in here so I have more space. So you can see the advantage of staying light until you get it right. And now I'd still be cropping my chess piece, but I really wanted to have the cross be part of it. So now I can have this cross, which really makes it clear what piece this is, which I think might be the king. But part of it will still be slightly cropped off here, which I actually like that. It really activates the edge when you get something to be cropped off. So this comes like this, and this is around. Take out some of this value. I'm making it kind of dark so you can see it easier, but in general you want to keep these lights pretty light. And now I need to fit this vase in here. So I'm going to drop it in here. Now, when you're doing these sketches, you really need to be spending most of your time looking at the objects. All right, so now bring this down. And I got the general idea of this figured out. The flowers, and these flowers are coming actually right at me. And then I'm going to drop in, don't forget to drop in a horizon line here. And make sure you don't line it up with anything. Try to keep it, like I wouldn't want this to be lined up with the edge of this sphere, or this cube, so I'm going to bring that higher. All right, so now I have my sketch basically laid out, and I can start laying in some washes of color and looking at the light and shadow, trying to be creating a sense of transparency and opacity depending on the material and the way the light is reflecting off of it. All right,